Hey guys, Matthew here, and in this video I wanted to introduce you to the flows. What are we going to cover, what are we not going to cover in depth, and how to really benefit from this section. So first of all, let's start with the difference between a flow and a campaign or newsletter or EDM. If you're in Australia, you might call it EDM. So campaign, newsletter, this is something you send out once. You have Friday campaigns, you send it out, it's done, right? Someone received it, some people opened, some people didn't. Now, a flow is a little bit different because it's automated. Let's say you have one campaign that is really going great, you have an amazing offer, and you want to use that as a welcome flow because it's working so well. And when you send it one time, this offer, that's special, you want to use it for everyone who will enter your subscription or subscribe to your list, will enter your store and leave their email address. You might as well do that. And if you set it up, which we are going to cover the most powerful flows we're going to cover, I think it's going to end up being like 10 flows at a minimum. So you don't need anything else until you start scaling to like $500,000 a month. Yes, flow is an automation. So that email will be sent out. The same exact email will be sent out to that person. You can have variables such as your first name or a product blog that is dynamic. Dynamic means it's different for everyone. So there are some ways to really make it look like it's new and it's sent just to you. But after all, the goal here is to automate something that is working and helps you recover abandoned carts if it's a pre-purchase flow, if it's a post-purchase flows. We're creating a better customer experience, and we're helping them make more educated decision, choose products they need, avoid products they don't need, customize products if you have products that can be customized or if they can be dedicated to them. Let's say they have certain shape of face, you can have a quiz, and if they choose they answer all the questions, you will give them the product they need or it's a good fit for them. If it's something health related, if they tell you that they have problems with X, you can provide them solution for X and not Y, Z, right? So you can be very specific with the flows, but they are usually triggered by something. So when someone is active on site, they would receive, or 50% of people, it's a random sample, would receive an email 30 minutes later, 50%, 4 hours later, would receive a certain email. And side note, it says active on site and here abandoned cart only because I don't have any Shopify store connected to this demo account. And it's something that we just use for reference and copy designs and copy frameworks, not something that we finish for any of the clients. That's why I see all the zeros here, just FYI. So basically, actually this is pretty advanced setup already because we have a conditional split, which conditional split can be random sample of 50-50 if you want to test. If 30 minutes works better than 4 hours, people might mark this one as spam because it's too early, but they will like this one, or this one will be opened much more often than this one. Then you can decide that 4 hours will be the way to go. Another very, very important note, when you are going to delete conditional split, everything that happens after that this particular flow will be deleted. Trust me, you don't want to be in this position. I've done it. My wife has done it. You will go around the day and curse all the time and be angry at everything, ruin your relationships with your dogs, pets, friends, and everyone else. If you have everything built out and it's gone, you didn't save it, it might happen that it is gone and it's not something you can recover. So how you can overcome it? Basically, if you decide 4 hours is better, then move the 4 hour here and put it right there. One more time. There you go. And then move everything that is below that you want to keep above this. So when nothing is down below, you can then remove this conditional split. And another way to split testing is, as you can see, is you can do it based on location, or simply when someone, let's say, was active on site, or I don't have here abandoned cart, but active on site, and you can choose at least once, 0 times once, or you can even add a product. So if you would have a product, you can choose, I don't have anything here, but you could choose any product. So if they abandon certain products, they would receive 50%, and the rest of will receive something else, right? So yeah, we have that. You have time delays. When it comes to delays, you can choose days, or you can do certain time zone. You can do also certain day of the week and certain time. So if you have campaigns that are going out on Tuesday and Thursday, you might as well set up flows that only go out around this time, if this is a specific flow that you don't want them to receive. For example, welcome flow is a good example for it. So I use the word example as well. I hope I don't confuse you. If I do, comment, let me improve that. Let's say you have a welcome flow that let's say you have a campaign calendar that sends out every Tuesday and Thursday. You have something educational, you send it out, and everyone who subscribes will also receive this newsletter because they subscribe. So you might want to set up Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for your welcome flow, so they will receive one email a day in the beginning stage. If you think it's too much, remove one day. If you think it's fine, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to be talking about specifics for each flow. I just want you to understand that there is ways to test, and you can have time delays obviously between the emails. So first email is being sent out 30 minutes later. Then once they receive this, one day later they'll receive another email. And there's also filters, trigger filters. You can add when something, basically the trigger when they were active on site on, let's say, certain URL. So send certain landing page only if they were on this landing page and left without adding to cart or doing any other action, you can choose that. And flow filters, so if basically they were active on site but they've done something else. So let's say they place order. Probably I won't be able to, I actually have that, cool. So place order at least once since starting the flow. If I save that, that means that someone who placed an order at least once since starting that flow will not get this particular email. Why? Obviously, if they added to cart, we show them products that they've seen when they added to cart, and we don't want them to send consecutive emails like, hey, you forgot something in cart when they bought. So this is pretty much flow filters, and we'll go about every specific flow and flow filters in more depth after that. Another thing is that I wanted to share with you when it comes to template or framework. You usually have in the flows very similar framework. You want to make sure that it's congruent throughout all of your flows. So company logo, a hero image, don't make it too big. Make it as small as possible unless it's really needed. So for all abandoned cart flows and all pre-purchase flows, most likely you'll have something smaller because they want to see the product they left in cart first. This is like psychology behind it, where we forget things, we're scatterbrains, and if you add a product to the cart and you forget about this, you need to see that product first before you see anything else. That just makes more sense on a psychological level. And believe me, that's why abandoned cart works so well, because people just forget. Or some people want this discount, but a lot of them forget. Need more time to decide? And again, I wanted to add something to it. So if they want a discount, right? A lot of people, there's some people that want this discount, but a lot of people, they just are, if they need the product, if you are doing your good job with the copy and conversion on your website, then if they need something now, they will not wait 3-4 days to get a discount, unless it's something they don't need. And that means that the copy or the conversion is not doing good enough job, or maybe the ad on top of the funnel. So there's some copy. This is something very general, but yes, I will give you some examples. And when it comes to copy, I would like to give you frameworks. I don't want to do any copy and paste things. I know they're popular. If you really want it, I can, or you can just copy whatever you find. But trust me, you need to find your brand's voice, and this is so important. So most of the time, the copy needs to be so specific to how you would sound. And the way I approach assembling copy for all of our clients, for myself, for our company, for everything we do, is I put myself in the shoes of the customer. So what is happening? Let's say this is abandoned cart. So imagine someone walks into your physical store and they were looking around. Maybe you approached them, maybe not. Then they add something to the cart, and then something happened, and they just left the cart and ran out. You want to stop them, be like, hey, if it's female, a lot of female brands say babes or baby or girl. If you know that 99% of your audience is female, you do it. If it's something for men, you might, hey friend or hey buddy. You might be calling them out by name. You might have on your list a name, or you can set up a default so it's either the name or hey buddy. And then what would you say? Is that something direct? Like, hey, I see you have a product in the cart. What happened? Is there something I can help you with? Or hey, I see you were looking at this particular product. You didn't like it, or what happened, right? Assuming that there's no urgency. They just left it and walked out low key. Assuming there's no urgency that they run because of something. Then what would you say? How would you approach them? The same goes when you welcome them. When they came for the first time, or they came for the second time. How would you mention something? You probably know them by name now. I probably would ask for their name when they came first time to purchase first time. You want to make them feel like at home. Maybe you'll offer them something. Might be coffee, so there's your discount code. If you would have coffee, some people, we had clients that were offering, they had physical stores that were offering a glass of wine. They had high ticket product, luxury fashion stuff, so every order was like $500 to $1,000 every time someone walked in and bought. And they were offering wine for their clients. If they didn't want a wine, then coffee with cake or whatever that was. So there was your discount code. Really, you're trying to make the customer experience much better. So back to the framework. Again, I'll actually start from zero. So you have a company logo, hero image, copy that needs to be direct, dynamic product blocks. Again, the product they left in a cart. It's not in every flow, but in most of the flows, pre-purchase, you'll see some sort of dynamic product block. You can show trending products. You can show testimonials, company reviews, and company benefits. What is that you offer? Free shipping, 90-day money-back guarantee, free trial, free virtual shopping. So when you have a physical store, you want to invite them. Gucci does that, where they have physical stores, and people, when they call in, they can schedule a virtual tour and see things, how they feel, and then talk to someone. You want to show your testimonials, and in the footer, I've seen many times people place their mission statement. Why would you place a mission statement in the footer that no one reads? If this is your mission statement, that needs to be somewhere either here or above here. People need to see it, and keep it throughout your flows. It's not enough when you show it once. So that's the framework we use for all of the flows. You can pretty much use it for literally every flow and stick to it once you have it. And again, the same goes for subject lines. Naming conventions are very simple, and I might actually throw in another video talking about it, but the name of the flow, if this is like an A/B test, then you can name the test. If it's if you create it for someone, then I would say definitely your agency name, your business name, your freelancer name, initial, something simple. So I'll see it, email number 1, version A, email number 1, version B. Then you have email number 2, 3, and 4. The reason why we name them that way is because of the reports. Once we get to the report section, I'll show you some of the reports. You want to make sure that the reports are easy to read, so you can identify things as soon as possible. Smart sending, that basically means you are sending within usually 16-hour window. You don't send an email within 16-hour window. And that's sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't make sense. I'll let you decide. I would definitely see first how your unsubscribe rate goes, how your spam rate goes. If it's high, turn it on by all means. Become your client. So if you set up all the flows, they're live, go to your store, play with it, set up an email, a dummy email, and get those emails and see how it feels. We also map out the customer journey that is post-purchase, and that's the reason why we do that. We want to make sure that we don't leave a customer, let's say, just for campaigns. If there's a gap when they place an order and when their win-back flow hits. Win-back is basically when someone placed an order and then 3 months later they still didn't buy again, and you send them a win-back flow. that's why win back. You're trying to win the customer again to buy. If there's a gap if we identify, map out the whole customer journey, and there's a big gap there, well, you need to add more flows, and you'll close this gap, because the campaigns are good. They're generating 20 to 30, sometimes 20 to 40% of total revenue, but your flows should also be close to 15, 20%. And not only that, revenue is important, and obviously it adds profitability, but it helps you get referrals, helps you get improve the customer journey, increase your average order value, increase your lifetime value throughout so annual lifetime value. If you have that metric, it's very important to see how much people spend on average throughout 12 months. And flows can absolutely help you double that or triple that or quadruple that. We've seen that over and over again, where we had lifetime value of $75, average order value of $40, and if you place the flows right, your average order value becomes your lifetime value, 75 plus, and then your lifetime value becomes 4 or 5x of that. It's absolutely possible. Why? Because we map out the journey for 12 months, and we want to make sure we communicate with our clients the right way. UTM tracking, that's for Google Analytics and attribution. So basically it would create a separate URL for all the emails, so you can easily track, hey, this was attributed to the email. I always have that on. Why not? Most of the time you won't read the report to the email, because that would be insane. You might have hundreds of emails, and that might be too much, but simply to make sure that all tracking happens, have that on. And then additional filters, most of the time you don't need that. It's basically, if you would have an additional flow, for example here, so, or let's say if in the first email, the filter can be, hey, maybe they received this email only if they spent $50, or their product they have in cart is worth $50. So that might be additional filter. If it's not $50, they receive the email number 2. And that simply might be the offer. If they have an item that is worth $50, you might give them a stronger offer. So yeah, you can be very specific. After all, I hope this video makes sense for you and gives you a good picture of how to structure flow. What you will get from us, a lot of frameworks, how to do it. We'll walk you through it, but I don't want you to copy and paste all the stuff that you see, because this is not going to work. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. It was probably the longest video in the entire course, but I hope, again, it's going to be very, very easy to follow.